It's my G Gaming. He was an earl or something at his last school, but now he's gonna carry our spit bucket. Welcome to this G Riffview for one of the storiest games to ever story, Persona 4, the RPG that awoke me from my slumber to, better life? We'll say better life. Well, geez, don't have to worry about a mutiny with these jellyfish. Continuing my trend of being late to the game on absolutely every RPG ever, Persona 4 turned out to be a pretty terrific starting point because it was constantly coming up as the best that's ever been bested as far as RPGs go. And yeah, it kind of is. Well, maybe. It is definitely one of the top 5 or 10 RPGs. If gun to my head, I had to make a list about it. And that is almost entirely because it really does not ever seem like the development team stopped and said, no, this is going too far. They put all these ideas in there to get their point across, and every single one hits more authentically in the emotional core of my robotic body because of it. So, who's DTF? Anyone? Pretty much everyone you meet in Persona 4 has something to add to the story, and that's great, where you get this sense of community from these people that you just meet on the street, or that can help you open up these persona chains just by getting to know them a little bit more. But then I found the Lord. And before this question keeps you up tonight, let me answer you what my favorite characters are in order. Naoto, Kanji, Chie, from 1 to 3. Leave me, you foul-head demons! Persona 4 continues the tradition of the time block schedule, where you're doing one thing for the afternoon, one thing for the morning, so on and so forth. And while, yeah, it is constrictive by design, it doesn't feel quite so much as it did in Persona 5, wherein Morgana was your damn Apple Watch the whole game. Oh my god, what year is it? This is already a system that is hallways, it's not wide open fields, which is fine as long as you have that sense of I can still do whatever I want with my nighttime. And while that mostly breaks down to just going out and either working or getting to know people in Persona 4, it still works because the characters are interesting, because you can go through these interesting paths and journeys with them to where you really do feel like this is the distilled version of what this system should be. The overall contextual objective of the game is to stop the Midnight Channel murderer, who has the same persona-based powers that the protagonist does, but uses them for malicious intent. Ah, Christ, it's like flipping through the menu at Cheesecake Factory. Which will have you spelunking into the subconscious dungeons that we all have and hide from human eyes. Each of the dungeons represents the inner fears or conflicts that the owner has, which is really terrific visually and just conceptually. And you go into some really well thought out landscapes in order to basically do rock, paper, scissors with the enemies within to then gain persona cards, experience, and to get to the end objective, of course. As allegories go, there is no better representation of the mundane day-to-day life than going into one of these dungeons, even though they have the window dressing of a specific character's struggle. Battling in and of itself is pretty simple. You are either doing an elemental attack, a physical attack, or healing your party, which, by the way, in this game can be automatically set up to do attacks or defense based on a predetermined set of skills, which is terrific as an addition. Oh, that's the look of a kid that's killed a squirrel or two. What I do wish had been addressed is the fact that there's just not enough ways to get personas inside the dungeon. You basically have to hope for a random loot drop, which just isn't fun. But I mean, it's that and a little bit of slowness on repeated playthroughs that are holding this game back. And as you can imagine, it's really not going to hold it back too terribly much. And I will say this, it deserved better than the Vita. It really does. Hi there, I'm a mummified Stretch Armstrong. This here's a 9er out of 10. Thank you for listening and watching. I'll see you next time at myggaming.com and here on the YouTubes. Toodaloo!